Hello guys, I hope you are doing good. Welcome to this new video. Today we are going to solve this problem that has been asked in front-end interview at Uber. So as you can see from the question that has been posted on this lead code, this was fairly a new question. It has been posted on February 20, 2022, and from the post I can see that it has been asked to a front-end engineer who has 2+ years of experience. So majorly it's been asked to SDE2s, and the problem statement read as whenever we click on the screen, right, anywhere on the screen, if we click, so here it is says that when the left button is pressed from the mouse, a circle should be created. And let's say if you have pressed the left button and if you are dragging, right, so the circle should increase in size. And if there are two or more circles overlapping, then we have to change the color of the overlapping circle or the later one. So we will try to solve this problem. The only thing we'll do is we'll skip the expanding part. So where the user, when he clicks on the left button and then drags and the circle size increases, we'll skip that part and the remaining part we will solve, because doing that will be a complex task, and I don't want to get into that. So rather we'll try to keep it extremely simple, and we'll try to solve the simple one where user, whenever he clicks on the screen, a circle will be created, and if there are two or more circles that are overlapping, the color of the later circle will change. So if once you go through this problem, right, once we solve this variant, you will be able to solve the next variant also, where you click and drag and the circle size increases. So that I'll leave up to you for the homework, and we'll be solving this basic variant right now. So let's get started. So here, as you can see in the code pane, my boilerplate is ready. I have created a wrapper which is of the view height and view width. So it is taking the 100 view width and view height. And here I have written lunch buckets. And inside this, we will be generating the circles. Now to generate the circles, right, whenever user click anywhere, we have to create a circle over there. So for that, what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a absolute position element, and the coordinates, right, we have to create a circle. So circle will be always asymmetric. I mean the height and the width of the circle will always be same, and it will be border radius 50%. That's how a circle will be generated, and we will position it absolutely anywhere on this canvas. So this is our canvas, which is of the size 100 view width and 100 view height. So that's what I'm doing. So let's get started and create a circle first. We'll create a circle first, and after that we'll see how to create multiple circles. Then we'll see how to detect if two circles are overlapping or not, and after that, if they are overlapping, how to change the color of the letter. So keeping these things in mind, right, we have to change the property if the circles are overlapping, and we have to detect if two circles are overlapping or not. So we'll need certain properties to be stored for the circle. So let's get started and let's create that. So here the first thing I'm doing is I'm assigning an event to the document so that we can listen to the click event, and on that we'll be generating the circles. So let's say document dot add event listener, click, and here we'll say draw circle. And then after that, let's do the memory cleanup over here. Let me copy this, and here I'm pasting it back, and I'll remove the circle wherever the component is being removed, just to clear the memory. So the event is assigned, the click event, and then we have the remove event listener as well. To this, whenever a click happens on the canvas, this function will be invoked, right, draw circle. So let's create that. Const draw circle, and here I'll take the event as input, and from this event, right, I'll extract the position, so where the user has clicked on the screen. So that is basically client X and client Y. Now if you print this event, right, you will see tons of properties associated with this event. So from that, I just want to get the coordinates where user has clicked on the screen. and client X and client Y gives me the position that where user has clicked, and on that position I'll generate the circles. So for the simplicity, let's just print this client X and client Y and see what value we are getting, and then from this value we'll generate the circles. So let me open the console, let me clear this, let me run this. Is that an error? Unexpected, sorry, this is comma. Let me run this again. So now if you see, if I click anywhere, right, you will see a number will be printed, the position client X and client Y. So see, when I click over here, I got 336 and 93. So 336 is the position X. Position X is starting from this left hand side, what is the distance in pixel where I've clicked, and 93 is the position Y. So from the top, what is the distance that I've clicked at. So because the canvas area is this blank white screen that we are seeing, that's why you see the top as 93 and the width that's 336. If I click somewhere here, you see that 924 is the X position and this 72 is the Y position. So from this we'll generate the circle. So we got the positions, let's generate a circle. Now to generate the circle, right, we'll have to decide the radius of the circle. So I'm creating a constant value here. Let's say I'll create a radius of 50 pixel circle. So radius is 50, diameter will be 100. So I'll be creating a radius of 50 pixel and then we'll create a circle from this. And here, let me create a state. So circles and then set circles. Basically this won't be circle, this will be circles coordinates. So circle chords and then set circle chords. So we are creating circle coordinates, and from these coordinates we'll generate the circle. So we'll have to store the coordinates first. So because this will be array of circles, right, we'll be creating multiple circles. I am creating array of array state. So in this we'll be storing the coordinates. Now whenever the user clicks, right, here we have to generate a circle. So the first thing I'll do is I'll create chords object, or basically current circle or new circle chords, because there are existing circle chords as well, right, in the state. So I'm creating a new circles chord, and to this, because our circle will be placed absolutely, right, as I explained, this is a canvas and we'll be placing it absolutely, and in the absolute placement will decide the coordinates of the circle, like what will be the top, left, right and bottom. So let's calculate those things. So here the top will be whatever client Y is minus the radius of the circle. So this will give us the top position. Similarly for the left position, so top basically it is calculated in in the vertical manner, right, that's why we are getting the Y position, and for the horizontal ones like the left and right we'll calculate it from the client X. So for the left position I'm getting the client X minus radius, and for the right and bottom we'll use same thing, but here we'll add an extra calculation to adjust the position, which is basically we'll have to extract the radius and then we'll have to add the double of its radius. Basically we'll have to add half of it so that we can decide the top position of the circle. So radius into 2, and here also radius into 2. Now why we are adding this radius into 2? Because the top and the bottom, so here let's say right and this bottom, sorry, this will be right because this is position X, and then this is bottom because this is on the Y side. So from top to bottom there will be a difference, right? So from top to bottom, because the radius of the circle is 50, so the diameter becomes 100. So we have to add the double of its value to decide the bottom position from the top. Simple as that. Because let's say at the top, so top start at this S and then bottom goes to this sidebar. So the distance from this to this is the diameter of the circle. So that's what we are adding. Similarly for the right position. So we got the coordinates, and here I am having the background color. So by default I am keeping all the background of the circles as red. Sorry. And whenever they we detect overlap, right, that the two circles are colliding, we'll change the background color of the later one. Otherwise the background of each circle will remain red. Now let's store this coordinate. So we have our state set circle chords, and in this we'll add the existing chords, which is circle chords, and then we'll have this new circle chords as well added to that. So we got the circles. Now from this state, let's generate a circle. So let's create a circle component that will generate the circle. Const circle, and this it will accept the position top, left, and background. So because we are placing the elements as absolute, we just need the top and left position to determine where it should be placed on the canvas, and the background color. And here we'll return the div. So I am creating the circle from the div. You can use any element of your choice. And then let's add the styles to this. So position will always be absolute, and then we'll have width. So width will always be the diameter, which is twice of radius. So radius into 2. Similarly height will be radius into 2, and then we'll have border radius, which will be 50%. I'm not sure why this is coming. Let me radius will be 50%, and then we'll have the top, left, and background. So our circle is ready. Now let's generate the circle for the each circle chords. So let's get the circle coordinates and map. So we'll map them, and from this we'll generate the circle, and we'll pass all the chords over here, plus we'll pass the key. So for key I'm using I'm generating a value which is the combination of these three things, so that, or let's say bottom. So just to determine that this is a new key combination, it will generate a unique number every time. So we have things in place to generate the circle. Whenever a user clicks, we'll get the coordinates, and from that coordinate we'll generate the circle. So let's see if the circle is generated or not. So see, if I click, I'm clicking anywhere, the circle is generated. But the problem over here is we are not getting the multiple circles. So every time I'm clicking, I'm just getting a new circle, and the previous ones are being destroyed. So let's fix this problem. The problem here is because we are inside a click event, right, and that event is assigned on the document, so it is not able to access the state outside of that. So in order to have multiple circles, what we'll be doing is we'll be using the previous state over here. So previous state, and in this we'll merge the previous state and then pass the new circle coordinates. So whatever the previous state is, along with that we'll have the new circle coordinates. And if I refresh and run this, you will see that we'll be able to generate multiple circles. So see, we are able to generate multiple circles. Now the last thing we have to do is we have to detect if the two circles are colliding or not, or they overlapping or not. So for that, in this only, right, in the previous state only, what I'll do is I'll check this new circle coordinates with all the previous circle coordinates and see which one of it is colliding. And if it is colliding, then we'll change the color of that or update the color of that. So let's do that. Let me create the function to detect if the two circles are colliding or not. So let's have this function elements overlap, and it will get the two coordinates. So element 1 and then element 2. So it will get the coordinates of two circle, or let's call this as circle 1 and circle 2. And then we'll check if the two circles are colliding or not. So for this helper function I have pulled from the Stack Overflow, and what it does is it detects that if the two circles position, right, top, left, right and bottom, if any of that is colliding or exceeding each other or not. So if it is exceeding, let's say circle 1 dot top is greater than circle 2 dot bottom, that means it is colliding. That's the one part. Second is circle 1 dot right is less than circle 2 dot left. So then also the circle is colliding. Otherwise, vice versa. If circle 1 dot bottom is less than circle 2 dot top, or circle 1 dot left is greater than circle 2 dot right. So in any of this case, if it is happening, the circle is colliding, and then at the end we'll return if it is colliding or not. So this will help us to detect if the two circles are colliding or not. And using this in this state update only, what we'll do is we'll check for let I equals to 0, I is less than previous state dot length I plus plus, and in this we'll check if any of that element, right? So const collides is equal to elements overlap, and here we'll pass the current chords. So whatever the current circle chord is, new circle chords, and then we'll pass the previous state or the previous circle's coordinates. And if they collide, so if collides, then what we'll do is we'll change the new circle's chords background color. So here you can pass any random color. For now I'm just passing green. And once we have found the check, we have updated the color, we'll break the loop. And after that, what we'll do is at the end we'll return the previous state plus the new circle chords. So that's it. What we did is before updating the state, we added a check where we check the current circle's coordinate with all the previous circle coordinates that we have in the array. And if any of that is colliding, we are updating the color or the background color of the current circle. And let's run and see if this is working fine or not. So here I am having first circle, and if I click over here, see the second circle collides and the color changes to green. Here if I click, it is an independent circle, it's not colliding, so the color is red. But let's say if I click somewhere here, it is colliding, so the color is green. If I click somewhere else right, so again it is colliding, that's why the color is green. If I click over here, again it is colliding, so the color is green. If I click it independently, it is red. So rather than having green, you can have a function that randomly generates the color code. So that's how you can solve this problem. So we have successfully solved this. Now if you want to take it to the next level and solve the original problem that is mentioned in the question, right, which is once you click, the circle won't be generated, and you drag, the size will be decided, and when you leave, right, that many size of circle will be created. Here if you see, when I leave the button, that's where the circle is generated, but in that you have to drag and increase the size. Here the size is fixed. So you can extend this problem and solve that too. It's up to you. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.